Hey guys, so I just left the hostel in Thessaloniki and I'm currently walking back to the car I rented, and then I'm gonna drive up to I don't remember there's a place at the base of Mount Olympus, and then start the hike. So I should be stopping today at Site A, which, I mean, I could potentially do the whole hike in a day, but I'm gonna go easy on myself and do it in two. So go up to Site A, stay there for the night, and then hike to at least one of the peaks. There's two peaks that are real close, and one of them is the taller of the two, but from what I've read, that one is kind of hard to get up and potentially dangerous, so I might end up not doing that one, but we'll see how it looks when I get there. But I'm definitely going to do the slightly shorter of the two, and it's only shorter by like 9 meters. So it's not much of a difference, but if I can, I'd like to do both peaks. Anyway, I'm gonna show you stuff when I get there. Well, I'm on the trail, hiking up to Site A, which is where I'm going to stop and sleep tonight. I think I'm about halfway. I think today it should only be about 3 or 4 hours of walking. But so far, it's been some pretty steep walking. I just walked into this cloud and thought it looked pretty cool, so I thought I'd show you guys what I'm seeing. Honestly, I wasn't sure what kind of things I would see up on Mount Olympus. Kind of makes me think of the Cascades, honestly. Or what little bit of the Cascades I've seen. Or all those scenes in movies where there's trees but no undergrowth. That's the thing. It's just no undergrowth, which is crazy. Pretty though. It turned out to be a lot easier to drive up to where I started, because there's a town at the base of the mountain, but then you can drive up, I don't know how many miles it is, but it's a ways, and get to a place to park, and they actually have a little restaurant there and everything. I was afraid it was going to be like gravel and large rocks and stuff, but it was paved pretty much the whole way. There's just one tiny section that was gravel. So that cut off about 600 vertical meters of the total climb, and probably 2/3 of the total distance if I was going to start from town. Ah, this is nice. A little flat spot for once. I get to any good overlooks, I'll show you. Hey guys, so it's the next morning. It's about 8 o'clock, and I'm setting out from the shelter, which was a very nice shelter. It was basically just a hostel halfway up, or more than halfway up a mountain. It had beds and food and all that kind of stuff, so I could have probably just come up with a light little day pack and it would have been just fine, but I didn't. I towed it along my whole thing, so now I gotta tote it back down when I'm done. But show you around a little bit, if you can see out there at all. So I'm not sure exactly how long this part of the hike is going to take, but from what I read, it's roughly a 3-4 hour hike from this point up to the peaks. So it'll be a nice long day of hiking for me today. Up to the peak, down to get my gear from the shelter, and all the way back down. Whew. Got a bunch of snow down there. Anyway, I'll at the very least show you guys a view from the top. Not sure if you can hear me or not, but that is the highest point of Mount Olympus over there. I am not going to be climbing that because I would have to go down that and then up that, and I don't feel safe doing it, so I'm not going to risk it. I'd rather not die for something like that. I'm not prepared for it. But this is one of the higher peaks. I'll probably go do that peak because it's the second highest and that one wouldn't be very difficult. So that'll be good. You can see towns off in the distance all over the place. And that direction, you can just make out the shoreline of the sea. Kind of a shame that I won't be able to get up that, but that's okay. Yeah, well. So this dog, I don't know who he belongs to. He just, as I was hiking up the trail, he came charging past, and then he stopped up here. I still haven't gone anywhere yet, and he's just kind of hanging out. I mean, he's got a collar, so I assume he belongs to somebody, but if I had to guess, it's probably somebody at the shelter, and he decided to take himself for a walk to the top of the mountain. There's been a couple people that have come through, a couple people that are going up to the highest peak, which is just behind me here, right over there. Tried to hunker down out of the wind a little bit, but yeah, still haven't gone over there yet.
I thought that was kind of cool. There's just a dog up here hanging out. Real friendly. Yeah. Well, this is atop the second highest peak. That one over there, this one right here, in fact, is the tallest peak, which I don't remember what that one was called. This one is Golis, I think, or something like that. I don't know. It starts with an S. I just finished writing down that I was here in the book inside that box. It looks like it just kind of goes over for a little bit around the same altitude. But after coming over here and looking at some of the things you'd have to do to get to the highest peak, I'm okay not going there. Besides, there's only, what, like a 6 meter difference in altitude, I think, between here and there. And for my money, 6 meters is not worth potentially dying. So I'm good with this. I don't know. Yeah, it's really windy up here. And it's cold, and I forgot to bring my gloves, so my hands are cold. So, oh, another, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right in there is another one of the shelters. That's not the one I stayed at, but there's quite a few shelters up here apparently. I mean, I'd say quite a few, but there's like 4 or 5 maybe. But that's another one of them. So now I'm gonna start hiking down, grab the rest of my gear that I left at the shelter, and then hike on down to the car, and then drive out of here. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. We'll figure that out when I get down to the car, I think. Oh, it depends on how long that takes, I think. Anyway.
Well, I'm done hiking. I just had some bean soup right there. This is the trailhead, I guess you'd say. So now it's a drive back down to the town and then figure out where I am gonna stay tonight. But I mean, even here, I don't know if I showed you this or not yet, but it's a beautiful view, even here. We're just down in the middle of a canyon. But it's been pretty beautiful. And now to rest.